after watching this trailer, nobody cares about Mando Season 3.
Every choice made has led to this.
That's not true.
I can't hear you. I turned it up too loud.
Sounds good for me on this side. That's the intro. Jeremiah, you gotta get the bubble trick.
Everyone, welcome back to another trailer-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And we are back. And we got some surprise trailers over the weekend. We got 2 of them.
Yeah, I'm kind of mad at myself for saying that was gonna happen. And then
I thought it was going to happen last week on Thursday. We were going to get
I was
a
hoping
trailer.
it would be on Thursday because then we could have done Tales last week and we
Yeah.
could have done Mando today, and now instead
You're getting 2 episodes
two.
of Empire Radio tonight that we're recording. So
True. So chat, hang on.
we're going to try and go
Don't go
quick.
nowhere.
We're going to record 2 separate episodes, one for Tales of the Jedi and one for Mando Season 3 teaser trailer.
Mhm.
And I'll try to have those up tomorrow Wednesday, hopefully.
By the time you hear this, if you're not in the live chat,
Right.
you
But
already know.
because next week is Andor, and Drew and I, we were talking before, and we might try. We did say last week we might do 2 episodes on Wednesday, record. But we're thinking we're going to try and do all 3 episodes next Wednesday. 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and 1 in the evening. So
You know what? This is prep for that, Jeremiah.
yeah.
These 2, we'll see how.
So put in your vacation hours, your PTO. Take Wednesday off so you can be here in the morning, afternoon, and evening. We're gonna try and get that done for you guys.
Yeah.
I have a lot of editing to do for that. Oh man. Yep. But anyway, so since we're doing 2 episodes tonight for recording, we are not going to have voicemails for this specific episode for this week, but in the Mando breakdown trailer, we will do voicemails then. So we only do voicemails once a week, not every episode,
and that will be the same for next week too, guys. There'll be one voicemail probably at, let's say, episode 3? We'll do voicemails the last one.
Probably. Unless
because we want them to listen to all before they can get to the voicemail goodness, right?
Right, because I'm assuming people might send in voicemails after they watch the episodes, maybe try and get that in, and so then we can have a bunch of questions or something from that.
Oh, yeah. So let's do that. That way they could watch all 3, and throughout the day on Wednesday they can send in their voicemails as long as it's.
But don't send them 4,000 voicemails because our breakdowns are usually 2 hours, and if we have 30, things that we kind of rough.
That's a good point. Not 30,000, just 20,000.
What was our record? 17 when we did the VCU stuff. I think 17 was our record. But anyway, you're here for our trailer breakdown, and so we always talk about how we found out about the trailer.
How it happened.
You heard about it first because I was at work, Drew.
Yeah.
Did you just pop up on your phone or what?
I'm trying to think. Nope. Trusty boy Andrew sent me a text.
Andrew sent you a text,
That's how it was. Yeah. I was at work. Andrew sent me a text and a text chain with Tanner. Good old Tantan. Maybe some of you guys will remember him because he's not in the live chat anymore. But yeah, so he just texted me. He's like, "Tales of the Jedi trailer," and I was like, "Oh man!" But luckily, it was on a Saturday, so I wasn't at work. Actually, I was at work. I lied. I had to work Saturday morning, so I was at work, and then I was off at noon. So by the time I got home, it was still pretty fresh. And then as he was texting me that the Mando trailer came out literally a couple minutes later, maybe 10 minutes later. So as I was responding back that, yeah, I'm going to make a video of it today, Mando season 3 trailer dropped, and I was like, and here's this link, and then he was like, what the heck? So yeah, I mean, we kind of called that they were gonna drop probably because half of the Star Wars fandom's already seen these 2 trailers, and they've been bootleg versions all
I
over
think
the
they
place.
they're different though.
See,
a lot of it's the same. Because
yeah.
I looked at those bootleg ones from Celebration, but there's
Did
some.
you?
It's a little different. I think a little bit different.
I know the Mando one seemed a little different. It was less scenes. I feel like there's more in the original Mando one. I think.
Yeah, that's true. And
Because I
then
remember what's her name sitting the throne for like a while.
yeah,
We didn't even see that at all in this one, really.
yeah. But in the Tales of the Jedi, from the bootleg one, there was not a close up on the person with the red lightsaber. But here in this one we did. So I remember that was a difference. But other than that, I haven't gone back to look because I don't really care. But yeah. So then I work every Saturday till 3:00, and I don't have my phone on me because I'm a good employee. I don't use my phone when I'm at work. And so I get up at 3, and it's like
Shots fired from Jeremiah to
yep,
everyone, probably.
yep. And if any of my coworkers are listening, it's mainly towards them.
Oh,
Um,
salty.
but it's like 3:10, and I get back, and we're like everyone's getting ready to leave, and I grab my phone, and I see I got like 2 texts. I'm like, dang, I rarely get texts from people,
True.
but 2 texts in one day. I'm like, oh, and it's from Drew, and he's like, Tales of the Jedi trailer dropped. I'm like, oh, cool. And then on the second one, and Mando dropped.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, my coworkers are all back, and I'm like, guys, I gotta get home. 2 Star Wars trailers just dropped. I gotta go home and watch them. And everybody's just rolling their eyes at me. But
like, could y'all finish up cutting this ham? I gotta dip a little early. I got things to do.
but yeah, so I can tell you right now, I have watched this trailer a million times and dissected it, and Mando season 3 I've watched like 3 or 4 times only. Like
see, you said that for that intro, and the chat was half of them agreed, and then the other half didn't agree. And also, the chat's popping off tonight. We got 11 plus people in here.
ooh, dang.
People are coming out to see our reaction. So shout out to the chat right now. They're going
even I even watched Star Wars Theory's reaction. He's like, I don't even care about Mando season 3. This Tales of the
He
Jedi.
said that?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know which one. I think. Oh, actually, yeah, I did watch his Tales of the Jedi one. Yeah.
I only watched the reaction. I didn't listen to any of his breakdown. I don't. Whatever.
Yeah.
But like, but even if you look at the views, like I didn't look, but like this morning there was like 500,000 or 600,000 more views on Tales of the Jedi trailer than the Mando season 3 trailer.
Well, for my reaction, there's like literally double views on my reaction videos of the 2.
Right. Like,
so
it just shows that the fandom are more excited about this, I think, than Mando season 3.
I think people are excited to see.
Now, I think this trailer it shows more, whereas the Mando one is kind of just like, here's a shot of some Mandalorians. Here's another shot of Mandalorian. Oh, here's Grogu. Get excited about Grogu. Here's more Mando.
And Babu Frick.
And Babu Frick. That's too. But we'll talk about that next episode.
Yeah.
But I just think it's interesting that everyone's more excited for Tales. It seems like.
I think it's because they're excited for the different story arcs of like Dooku turning bad. Like people want to know that story.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big draw. And then, I mean, we'll break it down, but there's things in this trailer that makes you think like, what the heck? Yeah. So I don't know. It seems really cool. The ongoing question: do all of them drop at the same day?
They do. It says already.
But it does say that.
Yeah. So even right in the description right here, I'm looking at it on the Star Wars YouTube channel. All 6 original shorts are streaming on October 26th.
Well, hopefully they're not like. Well, they probably are like pretty short. Like,
so I want to think that they're like Clone Wars episode lengths, so they're going to be 22 minutes each.
That's a lot. I don't know how we're going to break those down.
Well, I think we would just do. Well, one, we got Andor that same day, which because it's a
Yes.
Wednesday, and
Yeah.
then I think we'll just do. We'll have to do an episode on
The arcs, kind of like we did
the
with
Ahsoka
Vision,
arcs,
like
and then do an episode on the Dooku arc. So it would just
because there's only
be
2 arcs, right? Ahsoka
right,
and Dooku.
right. So there's 3 episodes of Ahsoka and 3 episodes of Dooku. Now I think um, the Ahsoka ones are going to be. So I posted this I was talking a lot about this trailer in the Discord,
Mhm.
but I think the 3 episodes for Ahsoka is one's going to be her origin story, like how she was
And she was a
discovered. So we're going to
child.
see Plo Koon is the one who discovered her.
Mhm.
So we're going to see him find her, which is going to be cool because like we've never seen other than like Qui-Gon and Anakin, like we've never seen really
Another way of
like a
like
Jedi being
Jedi.
found. Really, like there was some
Yeah.
like babies like in the Clone Wars, like babies being like taken by Sidious, like Palpatine. But like
Yeah.
we never like other than that, like there wasn't really anything.
We don't
So
see a lot of baby napping, so this will be
yes, so
baby kidnapping.
it's gonna be cool to see how that works. Like, did Ahsoka's family reach out to the
Well, it
Jedi,
seems like
or
from the trailer, like
she?
it appears that she knew. My
Like
guess
yes,
is like the shaman or like the village
that was like the grandma.
doctor,
I think
grandma.
the gram, whatever. So like, but it's interesting because we'll when we get through it, we'll see. But like, there's like one where she says Ahsoka or Jedi. Ahsoka is Jedi. That's like
Mhm.
a baby Ahsoka, but in the same
Mhm.
trailer, when she sees that big like cat thing, she seems a little bit older. So there's this. I think there seems might be a time
There's
between
a time gap.
a time gap in that single episode of where when she was a
Probably.
baby, she was somehow emitting some force sensitivity somehow,
She choked out her mom.
and then and then it might have taken like a year or two before Plo Koon finds. So like, it would be cool
Or
to
they're
see.
able to bring him over.
Yeah, so it'd be cool to see that process. So there's that, and then there's going to be the Anakin training Ahsoka to defend herself.
Mhm.
That'll be an episode, and then there's going to be is her facing off with another Inquisitor. So this would be post the events of the Ahsoka novel because she faces an Inquisitor there. And this would be at least her second Inquisitor.
What if it
In
is the one from the novel? They just changed it up a little bit.
It's not because it doesn't make sense.
True. Dude, when I first saw this, I was like, most people were like, "Oh, is this Dark? Whatever his name is, that's from the VC or the not VCU, the EU."
Excuse me, Star Killer.
Yeah. Well, not Star Killer. Raven.
Oh, Revan.
Yeah. Everyone's like, "Oh, is it Revan?"
Because in
The mask kind of looks like it. Like,
it kind of, but it was interesting because in the bootleg trailer, it doesn't place it with Ahsoka. So like so I just when I saw it was Revan, I'm like, are they doing like a Revan story or something? Because like they didn't like put any context with the image of that.
Ahsoka.
So like it was up in the air for that. But now we know it's Ahsoka,
Well,
and
and his saber is clearly it's one of those circle
the
fun
an
blades.
Inquisitor, and
Yeah.
it's really weird because the Star Wars, most of the version of the trailer, it has subtitles like in the video, like you can't turn them off.
I was wondering why that was a thing.
Yeah, it's I don't know. That was weird.
And it was only for this one.
Some
Or
other
what?
ones had it too.
No, but it wasn't for like the Mandalorian one, I'm
Oh
saying.
yeah, but like the specific trailer had it
Yeah.
on like other like IGN and
Yeah, I thought it was me when I first was gonna do my reaction before I like did the YouTube part. I was like, "Wait, Chad, is it just me or is it stuck?" Like I was so confused because a lot of the times I do watch it with subtitles because you can hear certain like sayings that you can miss real quick, or like some words will pop out that typically they don't even show.
right,
Like there's always sometimes you can find hidden things with subtitles. And
right.
I mean, you always watch like an episode of a show twice, one with and one without, so you can get
Right.
dialogue It's like, so they are helpful. So I was just like confused. I'm like, hey, I turned them off. Why are they still on? And I realized it was part of them.
Yeah.
Because it was green, like it wasn't white. So I was like, oh, never mind.
Yeah. So those are the 3 I think are going to be the episodes for Ahsoka. And then for the Dooku, I think we're going to get him with Qui-Gon as Padawan, like defending a village or something like that. We're going to see a mission with him and Mace Windu. And then we're going to see something with him versus Yaddle.
That was Yaddle, not Yoda, with long hair.
Correct. That was Yaddle.
Okay.
And
I'm
so
not disagreeing. There was like a bunch of people online were saying like that was like the first episode when Yoda was like when he was still younger, when he was Yoda's Padawan, and they're saying, oh, it could be Yoda with long hair.
Yoda's definitely aged really bad in those last 75 years of his life.
If that's the case, because in the High Republic, I don't think there's image of him having long hair. So
no, because Yaddle has the long hair in episode 1, and it's the same, like that strawberry brown, blonde, whatever you want to call it. I don't know my hair color.
Yeah, it's Yaddle.
It's Yaddle. So,
which, if you guys don't know, Yoda and Yaddle made Grogu.
We don't know.
I mean, just kidding. I made that. I said that.
Well, everybody has been saying that forever, but
I said that so confidently.
So anyway, that's what I think the each episode is going to be. But we'll have to wait and see exactly how it plays out. But we should probably go scene by scene.
Before we go scene by scene, do you want to announce the depressing news that kind of came out throughout this whole thing too?
Oh, Bad Batch?
Yeah.
Yep. So Bad Batch is officially January 4th, 16 episodes.
Yeah.
So
it was delayed quite a bit.
Well, to be fair, they never...
Well, they said fall. It says fall.
Oh, that is true. Yes. Yeah, I forget. They did say fall.
It does say fall 2022.
So that's kind of a bummer. And now we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do with these Thrawn books I've been reading, because we were going to do that in January.
Yeah.
So we might have to do it in December. Because the last episode of Andor is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, which is the second to last Wednesday.
Watch we get visions. Like in
well, that was, they said spring or early 2023, so we shouldn't get that yet.
But when are we getting Mando now then? Because originally Mando was supposed to be February, I think.
Yeah, it's still. I think that's still going to be on.
So it's 16 episodes, and it's going to be done before Mando starts. I don't know if that adds up.
Because it'd be.
I think Mando's getting pushed a little bit too.
I don't know. Good question.
Because that's why I watched a video about that, about how like they clearly pushed this back for Andor. That's like the big reason why they push Bad Batch back, is so that they don't overlap. They want people to stay on their platform as long as possible.
That is true.
And it seems it's like they're trying to stretch out people's subscriptions as long as possible with that as well.
Yep.
So,
but we'll
cross that bridge when we get to it. I just hope Mando doesn't get pushed back. But
I didn't even think about that, so that's probably true, because it was originally announced it was probably like February or March is when they was going to do Mando,
and now it just says 2023. Like it does. There's no.
Yeah. So
on that trailer.
Because then what that would mean? It would be 16. So they said the first week is going to have 2 episodes, so it'd be 15 weeks then. And so that would bring us to the end of April, meaning Star Wars Day, May 4th, would be probably.
Is that a Wednesday this year?
Because
if it is, then we're 100%. We're getting Mando episode 1 on Star Wars Day. Like,
it's a Thursday.
Close enough.
They could do it that first week, that the 3rd, or sometime through the weekend.
Well, you're hearing it first. Mando season
That
2.
means Ahsoka is
3.
going to be delayed too.
Yeah, duh.
All right, let's just get into this trailer
You're
because
hearing it first. Mando season 3 drops May 3rd. There you go. That's the announcement. Write it
all
down.
right, let's do this scene by scene in slow mo. So
I should pull it up too. Actually, now that you say that.
starts out with this. I'm assuming is that old Togruta Pav T, which is interesting because we know Shakti, so maybe T is kind of like a family name, like a last name of some sort. So maybe this Pav T is related to Shakti, and maybe she has experience recognizing a force sensitive being because she recognized Shakti years earlier. I don't know, but that's pretty cool. So I'm guessing this is on Togruta. Togruta is the same name of the planet, or no, or is it Shimi? Maybe it's Shimi.
I don't remember.
Togrutas live on Shimi, or at least Ahsoka is from Shimi, I think. I don't know my planets that well. But anyway, she's talking. It's a cool forest planet, a bunch of mountains. So this is probably where. And there's like, then it's like down in the woods, looking at some creature, and then it shows. So she says, "There's life is everywhere, but you must also face death." And it goes to the funeral of Padme in Star Wars or for Clone Wars animation style, which is really cool. Now, this is the thing though. I don't know. I saw this. Someone pointed this out in a video, and it's really hard to miss. But if you go to 110, and it's really quick.
1 minute 10. We're fast forwarding that much.
Yes, because it's here we see Ahsoka in a hood, and there's the same people are mourning. You can see
the funeral.
So
She's at the funeral.
So Padme, I think here. So there's 4 people in the galaxy she trusts the most: Anakin, Obi-Wan, Rex, and Padme.
My gosh.
She's assuming probably Anakin and Obi-Wan are dead. She's separated from Rex, and the only person that she trusts in the galaxy now is Padme. So she goes to Naboo to get help from Padme, and when she arrives there,
oh my god,
there's a funeral for Padme.
Oh,
this has to be what plays out.
Well, it's clearly the Ahsoka from the Clone Wars, like season 7 look.
Right.
Like
and it's literally the funeral. She's at the funeral.
Oh my gosh, that's depressing.
And so
you ruined my night there.
Okay. I'm gonna probably ugly cry because if I see Ahsoka cry, I see Ahsoka cry over this, this is gonna be rough. So look forward to some tears in this episode.
Your might have to like do a reaction for the Ahsoka stuff. Just have a camera facing you so you can record yourself crying. That's all we want to see. But geez, yeah, that's depressing.
So yeah, we'll get more into that maybe later. But so yes, so we get the funeral shot of Padme, and then it goes to the Jedi Temple, where we see the force sensitive tree. I forget what it's called. Same kind of tree that's on Ahch-To where Luke is in episode 8. Same kind of tree, a force sensitive tree. And we see Dooku standing there reflecting. And the narrator, Pav T, is, we have to honor life and death. She says, honor it. And then we see him kind of look. And then it goes to this giant saber-tooth thing. And it's about to eat Ahsoka. But Ahsoka is not afraid. And she pets him. Which is interesting because I don't remember Ahsoka having like that connection to animals in the Clone Wars. Because I know Ezra did in Rebels, where he could connect with animals and calm them and stuff. And I do remember there was a scene where like he's trying to connect with whatever animal and he's not connecting well, and Ahsoka is there and like gives him some
Advice. Well,
advice or
she's
something. But
attached to the owl and stuff.
that's a little different because that's the sister that died and became.
True, I guess. I don't know. I feel like you do associate
But
Ahsoka a little bit with animals.
either way, it's really cool that even without any training, she's able to seemingly use the Force to connect. And so maybe that we do quickly for like one frame later somewhere in the show, we'll get to it, where Ahsoka is riding this thing like on its shoulders. So maybe that's one of the things that points to her being Force sensitive, like in the eyes of her village, is that she connected with this, what they probably know as a predator and is dangerous to Grutas, to their village. And so
Yeah, but if you look up later, like it seems like Ahsoka's even younger when the old lady.
yeah, I'm just saying like there's multiple like examples that we're going to see of her connecting to the Force and using the Force without any training, and that's just like one example. And so I don't know, but we do get a picture of her parents as a baby.
Yeah,
So her mother is
dad is
holding Ahsoka, and then I'm assuming that's her father.
her dad
And
is
so
like more pink.
pink or purplish, which is interesting because we've never
Kinda
seen
cool.
that before. I don't think. Well,
I
maybe
don't
we've
think we
seen like
have.
reddish and white. Like isn't
What?
Shakti more red? I can't
So
remember.
when I was live streaming this, I was talking to the chat about it. Is it just me, or is like that first scene of Ahsoka younger? Doesn't the graphics not look as good as Clone Wars, or is it just?
You mean when she's with the tiger thing?
Yeah, it almost
Uh,
seems blurry, like lower quality.
I
Like
wouldn't
I'm
say,
not saying that's what the final product is
I,
gonna be,
I
but
wouldn't say that. I think it's just
the
an
light.
artistic decision where they
Mm,
make it dark, and so the light is shining. The light, maybe the light side of the Force. I don't know. And she's surrounded by darkness in this thing, and the
yeah.
light is shining on her, and she's able to use the light.
We'll say in the chat maybe it's like the flashback ish kind of situation.
Maybe we could get
Maybe
flashes,
that's like her
flashback.
flashback, and it's like.
Maybe. So I don't know.
But I don't
I
know how
think it
much
looks
she
fine.
remembers. Did she talk about that like throughout the Clone Wars, like her remembering
No, I don't think so.
planet really and her parents? I don't think so.
No,
Most
there
Jedi's
was.
don't. I mean, that's why Anakin was such
But
a.
I feel like there was something in the Clone Wars. There's a reference to something about it. I can't remember specifically.
They talked about the planet, didn't they? Where she was
No,
from.
I don't know. I feel like there was a scene where it's like a flashback or something, and it's Plo Koon kneeling down to Ahsoka as a 3-year-old. Because now that I remember that, yeah, she was 3 years old when she was discovered,
Mm,
and I think she was then brought into the Jedi Order,
mm-hmm.
and then a year later, when she was 4, that's when Anakin is discovered. So Ahsoka was brought into the Jedi Order a year before Anakin,
Yeah, I knew
but then
that.
Anakin is so good with the Force that he ends up being her master, and she
Yeah.
was the Padawan to Anakin. So yeah, so I remember that. So she was 3 when she was discovered. I think she was there for a year, and then so that's when because she's 5 years younger than Anakin, and Anakin was 9 years old, I believe, right?
Yeah.
9 years old.
I think
In
he like was about to be 10 or something. So I think we talked about
Yeah,
this
because
because I
he
thought
was
Padme
because
was
he was
way creepier than it
yeah
actually was. She
because
wasn't as
he
old as
was
I thought she was.
19. He was 19 in Attack of the Clones, and
Yes.
then 3 years later he's 22. So he's 5 years older than Anakin or Ahsoka. Anakin is 5 years older than Ahsoka,
Yeah.
and so
Which as a Padawan to a master, that's not that big of a gap.
right, but that just shows how powerful Anakin was.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was that powerful early on. Um, which is cool. I think it's interesting that I thought this is an interesting fact that Ahsoka was in the Jedi Order a year longer than Anakin, but Anakin surpassed her so far like that because he's the chosen one.
But that's also why, like, I don't think she would really remember, because that was like one of the things why they didn't want to train Anakin, was because he remembered his mom. Like,
Right.
that was like a big no to like
Right.
have attachment outside of the order.
Right. They
So I
always
don't think
get
it
him
would be a
young.
flashback. I think it's just her origin story. Even
Right.
though she doesn't remember herself. Maybe she should watch this when it comes out. Help her.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll watch it. All right. So let's see. So then it flashes to her doing training, and she only has one saber in this scene. So I think, but then later on she has two.
Yeah. I
So
think
I'm
she just
thinking,
ignited one.
this is the story of how she gets two sabers, because she realizes that she can't defend herself with only one saber, and
Mm.
so Anakin probably tells her, well, maybe you should start using two sabers, because we I think it's in season 2 of Clone Wars when she just randomly gets a second saber, and
Yeah,
so
they don't really talk about it, right?
they never like explain it. She just has it, and so that's cool. And then this whole scene, it's exactly the same thing from Order 66 in the Clone Wars season finale, or the final 4 episodes when she experiences Order 66. She's surrounded and she's doing the same thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is like the greatest like parallel. Like, it's like George Lucas says, it's poetry. It rhymes. Like,
Yeah.
it's just cool that Anakin trains her for something against the clones is actually going to happen. I just think that's super cool. Like, I'm gonna probably cry watching this episode too. Like,
Well, and they're clearly the first wave clones too. So this is very early on in the
right,
Clone Wars. Like
right,
very early on.
right. So then it says creators from the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch. Then it goes to a
Which
ship
means
that's
Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni, the GOAT. Hashtag give it to Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Goes to a ship arriving on a planet. Now that ship, it looks like one of the ships that Ahsoka tends to fly sometimes, like during the Rebels time.
It kind of also looks
But
like
that could also be Plo Koon going
Finding
to
Ahsoka.
finding Ahsoka, which would be cool.
True.
There's that, and then we get a flash to young Dooku. I should make a note: no beard. He's clean shaving here,
Mm-hmm.
because later on he has a beard, and he's there with Qui-Gon Jinn,
Young Qui-Gon.
young Qui-Gon
Also
Jinn.
clearly a bar
Yep, and
by the looks of where they're walking into.
yep. But then we get that flash, but then it goes back to Anakin Skywalker talking. It says the best way I can protect you is to teach you how to protect yourself. And so, which is interesting is, let me go back. He's starting with like training droids, like the little like
Yeah, the
things like
balls that like
the little,
or Luke was playing with
yep.
in New Hope. Jeremiah might not remember
No,
that part of the New Hope.
that is the second half,
Oh, that's
because
true, because they're off a
the
Tatooine.
first half is on Tatooine, second half is
Oh
they're
yeah,
doing the
sorry,
good stuff.
my bad, my
All right.
bad.
But they're in the Jedi Temple, like in a training area, which we see various times.
And who's the other Jedi with them?
Tara Sinube,
Who we see is
dead
dead.
in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, the close-up that we get,
Yep.
which is the same Jedi. There's an episode when Ahsoka loses her saber, and Tara Sinube is the one who takes her on that investigation to get it back, and she learns life lessons. And that's when she only has one saber, though. So,
Maybe this is during those life lessons.
I don't know, maybe. But at 32 seconds, Anakin with short hair.
Mhm.
So this is interesting because he gets long flowing hair by the end of the Clone Wars.
Yeah, it's another point of why it's very early on in the Clone Wars
Yep.
series.
And it says 2 stories of fate. And then it says the village elder says Master Dooku. Dooku puts down his lightsaber on a table. And he says, I want to bring peace and order to the galaxy. And it's like soldiers. There's like one of those, not a protocol droid, but whatever, one of those crazy droids walking in there too a little bit. If you see it in the middle, but they have like little like cone head armor things, which is cool with the blue and the yellow.
Do we know who the voice actor for him is?
For Dooku?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure you can look it up. I'm guessing it's the same guy from Clone Wars.
Oh, true.
Which should
Which
be
is
cool. He just got to change his voice just a little bit. Like it sounded pretty
who is
similar.
that one?
I don't know.
Because the original actor for him is no longer
Oh,
with
he's
us,
dead.
right? Yeah.
Christopher Lee.
You like to say no longer with us, Jeremiah. Dead.
He's
aggressive.
dead. He died. R.I.P.
Yes. Which when did he pass away? Because I didn't even.
I think it was quite a while ago. I feel like it
Because he was
was.
also in, X-Men, right?
No.
Isn't he in the original X-Men series?
Who?
The actor of.
No. Who did he
No,
play?
wait. Yeah, no, never mind.
Are you thinking about Magneto?
Yeah.
That guy's still alive.
I don't know why I thought that was.
No, you're thinking Lord of the Rings.
Yes, for sure. That's him, right? Yes.
It's the same guy. Yeah.
2015. Oh, wow. That was a while ago now.
Oh, I thought he died like a few years after Revenge of the Sith.
No, because Lord of the Rings was after Revenge of the Sith.
When did the final movie come out?
Lord of the Rings?
Did it come on the same year? The Return of the King was the third one, right?
Yeah. Chat. When did Return of the King come out?
I think it was the same.
Dude, it was way later.
Yeah, I thought it was 2001, 2003, and 2005 for the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Was it really that early on in my life?
You make it sound like it's like 50 years ago. Like,
bro,
it was like
2003 and 4.
It was like 20. What is 20 years ago?
What the?
What?
December 16, 2003 was Return of the King.
It was? Then it must have been.
Is that real?
Then I guess it was every year. Then that's true. It was every year. It was 2001, 2002,
Yeah.
2003. Because they recorded all 3 movies at one time.
No, I knew that.
So I guess that makes sense. They just do it every year in a row. Okay.
Because
Anyway,
I was listening to the Friendship Onion, which is the podcast that the two hobbits do, and they're talking about how like people assume they're millionaires, but they got like no royalty, nothing from that movie. So the only money they made was like what they made doing the movie, which is like 500,000.
what did he do in the
Like
movie?
all the hobbits, they didn't make any royalties after the movie because
I'm sorry. What did they do in the movie though?
the hobbits, like
No.
Frodo.
Oh, the actors only made that.
Yes, the
Oh,
actors.
okay. I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, the actors like didn't really make much money on that movie at all, but everyone assumes they're millionaires because they're so familiar faces, like
Yeah, but
billionaires or whatever.
you gotta understand, a lot of them, like, it was a springboard for their
I
careers,
mean,
though.
they're good now for sure.
Like,
But-
it was an investment.
True.
And I'm guessing maybe from something like that is why.
Well, it's like the Star Wars actors too. It's like,
Well, they get royalties too, but like,
but back
well,
then the contracts are
but
probably
like
really tight
Daisy
too.
Ridley, like I felt like she got paid base pay like $400,000 for the thing, but like then she got a royalty after
a certain amount sold. Or
after
whatever.
like $1 billion or something. So like half the money wasn't even less like after a third of the money that they made, like was because they almost made like $3 billion for that. So like she still got a lot of money though from
Oh
that. But then
yeah, dude. Well, and like they were talking about too, they're supposed to get like royalties on figures and stuff like that. But then but then the people that made the toy company that made it, which I don't even think they exist anymore, they were like, "Oh, we don't have any money for you guys." They're like, "Dude, it's been 3 years. We never got any money at all. There's no way you guys made zero money on toys because their face was on everything back then. It was like Lord of the Rings and Star Wars was like that was that time, and it was on everything."
right.
And so then they're in a lawsuit forever with them about it. Yeah.
Oh, anyway, back to the trailer. We got
Yeah.
young Dooku. He looks like he's protecting like a village from this army or something, and he whips out his saber. And dang, his lightsaber is long. Doesn't it look a little long at 40 seconds? I feel like that's like a solid foot longer than it should be.
Let me see.
That's longer than his
Blue.
blue,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
kind of a
longer
little
than
longer.
his entire arm is to his shoulder.
Yeah.
But then you got Qui-Gon standing right next to him, and then you have like villagers trying to protect themselves, like they're with Dooku.
And then he starts choking out the main guy.
Yep, and then Qui-Gon Jinn says stop, or Master stop, and then he hooks up. Nah, this could just be like a weird cut to make it look like Dooku did this on purpose to like stop him, because he already has his saber out. So maybe something else happened, but I don't know. It looks like Dooku force pushes Qui-Gon back for trying to stop him. But then Dooku says, "This is the only way you'll truly have victory, my Padawan." And then at 50 seconds, we get a close up. That looks exactly like a young Liam Neeson. Like
Nose and all.
that is like a perfect
Yeah.
young Qui-Gon look. Like I was very surprised at how well they did that, because
it'd be cool if they had Liam Neeson voice act it.
I bet they do have him.
That'd be cool.
They got him back for Obi-Wan.
True.
He's already in the studio.
True.
Here's a microphone. Can you say these lines for us quick?
Yeah, say these few lines. It probably wouldn't even take that long because it's only 3 episodes.
And he's probably only in 1 episode too. So
true. Well, I don't know. He's for sure in 2, maybe.
I don't know. I think it's just the 1.
Oh,
my guess, because the next episode I'm assuming is the one with Mace Windu. There's no Padawan there with him. There's no.
And he has a beard.
And he has a beard, so it's definitely years later.
Now, is it years later in the future, or maybe he had a beard phase and he grew out a beard and then he got rid of it?
Nah. once you grow a beard, you don't
usually
get rid of it. You don't go back. So, I just think it's really cool. It's really funny though, because you have Qui-Gon here that looks exactly like Liam Neeson, but when they made Anakin Skywalker, it looked nothing like Hayden Christensen. No. But then they make like Mace Windu kind of look like a cartoon version of Samuel L. Jackson. But I don't know. But then,
he doesn't play his voice, right, in the Clone Wars?
I think he did some a little bit, but
he
not
might in this one, because
I feel like in season 7 of Clone Wars they had him, but I'm not sure. Because I know they played the. Because there was that overlap with the holograms. I don't know if they might have just revoiced it with the voice actors. I can't remember. But I feel like there was some times when Samuel L. Jackson came back for that, but I can't remember. We'll have to Google that. But it's funny that we mention him, because literally right after it goes from Qui-Gon's close-up, it goes to Mace Windu. And it's him and Qui-Gon, or him and Dooku has a beard now. A short beard. Later on, it looks like he has a longer beard. And then it goes back to Ahsoka being trained by Anakin, and she has 2 sabers, and she's on like a Jedi cruiser of some sort, like in the hangar area.
Platform.
Yeah, the hangar area that kind of opens up on the roof.
Also, it looks like the troopers are
the 501st.
first now.
Yep, blue.
This
So
is
this
clearly way later in timeline.
Yep, and so she's like failing over and over again. It's like so she like Anakin's like again, get up again. But then at at 58 seconds, I think this is a different platform now.
58.
Because here they're all white again.
Well, because it goes back to when she only had one saber, when she
Right.
gets
So
shocked, and
but then at 58 seconds, you see Rex back there with holding his helmet, but they're not in. It looks like they're in a regular like hangar, not like in a cruiser anymore. Because you see it's like opening up like as a wall rather than a ceiling.
yeah, it's still older though because the
Right.
troopers.
But like my point is that she's going through this same training
She's doing this
over and over again for the whole probably the time of the Clone Wars. And
to
so
figure out that she needs 2 lightsabers, essentially.
right. But I just think it'd be interesting if
That's how they do the timeline.
they do a timeline where it says her starting in the Jedi Temple doing it, and then
That'd be cool.
like here in the hangar, and then in the Jedi cruiser with 2 sabers. And I think it would be really cool if the first time she does it correctly is season 7 Clone Wars during Order 66. Like where it's life or death literally, and she has to do it right or she dies. And so that, oh man, it's pretty cool. I hope it does that like that. Then right after that, 59 seconds, back on the planet where Dooku and Mace Windu are, and there's these cool little like droid things that are,
which from seeing this is maybe seems like where he's starting to get the idea of potential clone or like
droid army. Maybe,
because it seems like these are like pirates or something that like have these.
Right. Do you recognize this planet, Drew?
It looks familiar, but I don't know.
So I completely forgot to actually go back and look, but it looks like an episode from The Bad Batch when they go to the planet Rexus. Remember, there was like that leader that was kind of him and hawing about joining the Empire. And
yeah.
And they have to go and rescue him.
Kind of looks like it
because it has those tall, beautiful trees and like those pinkish flowers. I think
like
that's
a redwood forest look,
kind of, and then with those flowers, like it's the same look as that planet, and so that planet was a separatist planet, and so if Dooku is on this planet, he might have a relationship with that. His last name was Singh, like Senator Singh or something like that. It would be interesting if they have a conversation, like a young Senator Singh is talking with Dooku.
I wonder, because it seems like maybe he could, like, because he doesn't destroy them, he can make a like agreement with them, and that's how he learns who to contact when he goes rogue, essentially.
Maybe
we're definitely seeing the tie with when he goes rogue.
Right. But I think it would just be cool if they show like Dooku making alliances with planets.
Yeah.
Before he should be
bad.
Like they all have like issues because he has issues with the Republic. Like we know that's part of Dooku's story is he feels they're going in a bad direction, like whatever, and it's failing. And because what's the line from the Attack of the Clones? He's like he's not a murderer, he's an idealist, or something like that.
Yep.
So I think it's interesting that this could just show.
Or doesn't what's his name? Wait, no, he said that.
Ki-Adi-Mundi?
Ki-Adi, yeah. He's not a murderer. He's an idealist.
Right, and that reminds me though. I feel like before this comes out, we gotta listen to Dooku Jedi Lost, which
before this comes out, like next week in like a month.
But here's the thing: I looked it up. it's not an actual book.
No, it's
audio drama.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And
You
so
didn't know that?
no,
Yeah,
I thought it
'cause
was an actual book, but the
I
book
thought
is
we
just
had
a
this
script.
Yeah, I thought we had this conversation because Andrew
I'm sure he did.
downloaded it and he was like, "Yay, it's like I'll download the audio version because it's an audio novel." And then he listened to it and then when he finished it like a week later it came out as a book and he was mad.
Oh.
Cuz he's like, "Oh, dang,
But
I would have just read
because
it."
like I looked it up on Amazon or whatever, the book,
Yeah.
and it was like said 480 pages. I'm
Yeah.
like, dang, this is a huge, like these Thrawn books that I'm reading now are like less than
Yeah,
400.
it's like a play.
And I was thinking, okay, so if it's 480 pages, it's going to be like a 20-hour audiobook. So then I click on the audiobook and it's 6 hours. I'm like, this does not make any sense. And then I realized that the book is just the script of the audio drama.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we could.
With this audio drama, originally wasn't supposed to be printed as a book form. So it's like instead of most of the audios, like versions of books as one actor or one person voicing everyone, it's not like that. It's like a whole cast.
Yeah, I saw that when I was looking
It
up.
is a lot like better listen, I heard.
So I might actually
get that one.
Get that because it is short, and so if I play it at
hours, you can listen to
1.2 speed, it's.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's like a play, so you might not even want to like.
Right, it might be
just want to listen to it in the background, or while you're making a new video of baking, you could be listening to it.
Baking? I haven't baked anything in so long, dude.
I know. I'm trying to.
I haven't made any Coruscant Cafe videos either forever. Like
I know. We're trying to get you going over here.
Like I feel like the last time the last videos I made for YouTube was the collab with Sydney at Cinemakery. Sydney, if you're listening, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I have ideas. I'm just too lazy. So I'm working on that VCU stuff,
True.
Speaking of the VCU, actually.
Ooh.
If you're new to the podcast, or if you're a seasoned veteran, I have a special message for you today. We have a little commercial break. And so we have someone that's very familiar if you're a longtime listener, but this isn't real life Lucy. This is from fictional Lucy from the VCU.
The VCU Lucy.
The VCU Lucy has a message for us. So let's take a listen to this commercial.
Hey everyone! Fictional Lucy here, and I'm pleased to tell you that I'm just one of the many characters created in the original Star Wars audio drama some Empire Radio fans made. The story of my friends and I, called the Voicemail Cinematic Universe, played out through 86 voicemails. The problem is, our adventures are only audio. Unless you give us a hand. The goal is to have an illustration for every voicemail provided by you listeners. We're looking for any type of media. Digital art, Legos, painting, photography, anything at all. And don't worry if you're not professional. If you want to see the drama we go through come to life, just click on the link in the description that takes you directly to a Google Doc. It'll guide you through the whole process of creating and submitting your art. Colonel Doss, Will, Darth Daddy, and all us VCU characters can't wait to see what you can do. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, that fiendish Sith Lord, do it.
All right, cool.
Do it.
So, our fans made an awesome audio drama via voicemails. That was earlier this year during the springtime, winter and spring. And it's a really cool audio drama, but we have a special project where we want to illustrate these voicemails. And so, like Lucy said, if you know how to do anything art related, click the link below and help us out. It'll be really fun to do. We've had some great submissions so far. We only got I think we're like 20 submissions or something like that so far. So we got a ton more to go. So just click the link, check it out. Anyone's allowed to submit some artwork for this project, and you'll get a social media shout out if you want or something in the credits or whatever. But go check that out. It'll be a lot of fun. We really want a wide variety of ideas, and so, or I should say, mediums, or whatever you want to call it, of drawing, painting, photography. We got our first stop motion illustration for one of our voicemails, so that was really cool. So anything really, if you're listening and you're into art, help us out. It'll be really fun.
The chat saying draw it instead of, or
Draw
drew it.
Drew it.
Drew it.
Yeah. So Dooku audio drama. I might have to get that just because
Yeah.
it would be nice to have that context to better
So much
understand this
cool.
stuff. Even if you don't listen to it, that's fine. At least I'll have the knowledge to like some
I
talking
might
point.
get it. Why not?
Yeah, do it. There's a deal right now on Audible. Do you get your books from Audible?
I think that's the only place you can get audiobooks right now. They kind of have the monopoly on it, honestly.
I don't know, because right now it ends today, the 13th. If you're in the chat, if you have a credit in your account right now, you can buy 3 credits for $30. So that's $10 a credit. So I bought that last night.
And they got you hooked, huh?
I'm doing reading the Thrawn books, and got the next High Republic book coming out this fall. So I need a bunch of credits.
You like doing it like this because it makes you go through them faster, you think?
It helps me stay focused. Yeah. So I bought 3 extra credits because I was doing the 2 credit a month thing just because it's a better deal, and I needed to get a bunch anyway. So I'm already ahead of the game with my credit buying, so I can take like a pause for a month on that. But yeah, I'm excited for more Thrawn stuff and books. So I bought 3 extra credits, save some money. All right.
It's only 6 hours too. It's pretty short. Listen.
Yeah,
I can listen to that at work.
You can finish it one day at work, probably.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, let's continue with this trailer. We're a minute in. Dooku and Mace are in a skirmish, and they're getting attacked, and they're force pushing people and droids. And then Dooku takes a swing at a person and puts a saber to his neck, and Mace tells him to stand down. Like, this is pretty intense. Like, him flirting with the dark side type of thing, like being too aggressive. I think it's going to be an interesting story to see. But then at 107, it's Dooku with a longer beard. And
honestly, looks like the animation from what was that? Those Bible movies back in the day. You know when they came out? What was those things called? It was like he kind of looks like animation of like I think it was Noah's Ark. Maybe not. I don't remember.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Don't worry about it.
I was the only man that made a thing I could think of as VeggieTales, but he doesn't look like a tomato or anything.
A little looks like broccoli a little bit.
There's a VCU submission, a VeggieTales
version.
But yeah, so Dooku is close up on Dooku, like much older, and so I think this is when he fights Yaddle. I'm guessing, like that episode with the longer beard. Look, he looks sad or disappointed in this scene. Streaming October 2nd, and then that was really quick. You like two frames. Ahsoka riding that saber-tooth thing. Like,
looks like Miles' age right now, like 1.
They got to get that, like a figure of that saber tiger.
That'd be dope. I would buy it as long as it's in black.
Life size, so you can put Miles to ride him.
I was honestly trying to find for his birthday the sand speeder from Luke.
Oh yeah.
But the cheapest one I found, because they don't make them anymore, is a Toys R Us thing. I think the cheapest one I found was like $700. I was like,
you can't put a price on the love you have for your child.
No.
Maybe okay. Well then at 109, really quick, we see a couple frames of Bail Organa.
Yeah.
And we know that Bail Organa is a contact for Ahsoka at the end of the Ahsoka novel.
True.
So this is maybe him interacting with Ahsoka on a mission of some sort. Quick one frame of like an Oculish in a bar or something. Really hard to see really quick. Then there was that really quick scene of Ahsoka at the funeral, which we mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes back to the youngest version of Dooku with no beard with Qui-Gon at this village fighting. Really quick. Now it's like super like fast stuff now.
You have to do it in like 0.25 because you get Ahsoka walking.
Yep. So she's in
cloak.
some interesting building.
She's definitely it's probably on Naboo, like during the funeral.
Do you think? Oh, maybe that actually might be new because she has that hood on.
She has a hood
cloak.
on.
So she says, "I'm tired of fighting." No, we don't know what that's in reference to. Like if this is later on or if this is right after.
Then you get Rex.
Oh, we do see Dooku quick at 114, just looking. Yeah. No beard, big giant nose. Then we get Rex, which is probably the same scene we saw him earlier when he's in that dock because he looks like he shoots at Ahsoka, and then you see like a.
And she does have 2 lightsabers at this point too.
And it's the 501st, and you see the gunship, the LAAT, the LAT gunship. Then you see a gunship, which is I'm assuming is also now back on Coruscant. Because this might actually be the at 115. That might be the facility, the prison that Ahsoka is in when she's accused of murder, and she escapes. So it looks like that same facility.
Does it kind of look like the Empire logo on the front of it?
I don't know.
Does it kind of look like it? I don't know if it is, but kind of looks like it.
I don't know.
Weird.
Well, was the Republic? What was the Republic symbol? Was it still like a kind of cog? Like a different kind of cog?
Kind of, yeah.
Like a different version of a cog?
Maybe it's that.
But anyway,
it's coggy. Cool. Whatever that symbol is, this little coggy.
Yep. You know, Drew, what you could do when you're a little groggy?
Oh. Yes, I do.
You could have a cup of coffee.
Mm.
And if you love coffee, we have a deal for you.
True.
We have a sponsorship now, a quick little ad from Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. So let's take a listen to that.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor of today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that whether you live in the Twin Cities or not, you can get their coffee beans delivered straight to your door by ordering them online. They even have a subscription service that ensures you never run out of amazing coffee. If you've been looking for some new coffee to try or a way to elevate your normal coffee routine, now's your chance. Head over to wesleyandrews.cc, use the code Empire Radio, that's with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, to get 15% off your first purchase of any bags of coffee or a coffee subscription. I can't think of a better deal. Get 15% off some great coffee, support a small business, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
Do it. All right. So, so I think that's the prison. So I don't know why they're going to be there, but
maybe to get Ahsoka. Maybe it shows when she got locked up.
That was at night.
Good point.
Maybe
Dooku. Maybe Dooku's in there.
Something. Maybe, yeah, it'd be cool. Then it's Ahsoka and Anakin. Anakin with short hair again.
Wait, that wouldn't make sense because that ship is a clone ship, isn't it?
It is.
So never mind. It's not Dooku.
All right. But at 116, we see Ahsoka and Anakin at like a window of
Young
some
Ahsoka
sort.
too.
Young
Very young
Ahsoka.
looking.
Then at 117, we see
Obi-Wan.
So that's like
the weird looking Obi-Wan, honestly.
But that's Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan.
Yes.
So
it's like right away.
So I wonder if
this is probably when she gets appointed to be Anakin's.
No, because that happens in the movie, the
true.
Clone Wars movie on Christophsis. But there's still like there's a funeral, but it's a different. Because in the next scene, it's a funeral. Someone's dead. It's.
You should. Oh yeah, because Dooku's there, so it's clearly not.
Right, and it looks like it's the.
And Yaddle's there too.
The middle-aged Dooku from like of the three, because he has a short beard. But going back to that Obi-Wan, like I wonder if this is. I'm guessing this is going to be before Episode 2. But I don't know.
No, but he has his armor on though.
But is he?
That armor is a Clone Wars armor that he gets. Like the top armor.
Did he get it after the war starts?
Yeah.
Did he get it, or did he have it before?
No, he doesn't have it before.
Or maybe he just had it, but he didn't need to use it because it was peacetime.
I think it's definitely after. Because why would we get a scene without Ahsoka in it then?
But like, what I'm saying is, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense because it does look really different. Maybe that's not even Obi-Wan. We could be wrong. I don't know.
I
don't know, but like it's so different though than the way he looks.
Version. He just had a bad hair day.
I'm just saying, like the beard is completely different than the beard we see in the rest of Clone Wars.
Maybe that's why Yoda's looking at him like, dude, you look weird. You need to go fix your face or something.
I don't know. It just looks really different.
He looks different, but
I should mention in the background, I think that's Plo Koon back there,
standing there.
But like, I just don't know like where this scene.
Maybe Ahsoka gets like an award or something.
I don't know.
Maybe this is a scene when she gets her lightsaber. Her second one.
I don't know, but like
it seems like it's a ceremony kind of thing.
It is. Seems like that maybe, but like his beard doesn't ever look like that in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just weird.
And he has long hair.
Maybe it's right after the Clone Wars start.
It has to be like right after the Battle of Geonosis.
Mm-hmm.
But because the Christophsis arc, so the Christophsis episodes of the Clone Wars are part of the Christophsis episode, or part of the Clone Wars movie where we get introduced to Ahsoka. And so, like that's that's the first arc in the Clone Wars, I think, or the second arc in the Clone Wars chronologically is the Christophsis arc. And so, but I feel like then Obi-Wan already has his different haircut and stuff. But I don't know.
Maybe they messed up.
They don't make that kind of obvious of a messed up, but we'll figure it out later. We'll be reviewing. But either way,
there's some funeral probably of some Jedi, it seems.
Right, because it looks like there's a bunch of Jedi, but there might be civilians there too. It looks like, but I should say, but general. I don't know. It's early, so this is just Jedi Master Tara Sinube is there as well. Mm-hmm. And during this, it says Dooku says, "I've been warning them about the coming darkness." At 118, you see that Jedi with the like white braids, like that looks really cool.
Yeah.
But she has, with Mace Windu standing there too. But then there's like her, and then another
Padawan.
Must be Padawan.
But
like, I don't know. It kind of
really closely like.
It kind of looks like this is like Mace's wife and child. That's what it kind of looks like.
It kind of does look like that. But props to Dave Filoni for adding more people of color in Star Wars.
What do you mean? You got all those Twi'leks. They're blues and greens
Okay,
and
that's not what I mean.
the coming darkness, and you see at 1:20 the first reveal of the saber. So this guy laying on the ground, which we see later on when we see the Inquisitor say, "Who might you be?" I think this looks like Ahsoka's love interest, Lux Bonteri or whatever his last name is. Remember that kid?
Oh yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I think somehow she's working with him or something and whatever, but I don't know. But you see this red saber being dragged on the ground, and you quick see Qui-Gon, you quick see Mace Windu, you quick see Ahsoka, then you see this Inquisitor light his second saber, and there's like fire going all over the place, like buildings being burned. You see this hostage there, and if you've played The Last of Us Part 2, these buildings look like a very specific part in that game. It reminded me of. Or this whole entire village is on fire. But then it goes to Rex again. He says, "Let's hope all this training pays off." You see Dooku again. But then this is where we see Yaddle at 1:24:25.
Yeah, this is definitely when the long bearded Dooku, because he lights his lightsaber up because his face turns blue.
Yeah.
And then I guess that.
Yeah, 1:25. So it's Yaddle with the long hair.
And if you watch really slowly, she's flipping and everything.
Yep, just like
Dooku is swinging at her. Maybe, so that's what happens to Yaddle. Dooku.
So that's what we're thinking. So I brought that up that maybe when he fully turns to dark side or wants. Okay, so I guess we learn that Dooku doesn't get like expelled, or he doesn't disappear. Like he formally resigns from the Jedi, like on good terms, type of thing.
But clearly, this is not good terms if they're
if
he's fighting.
So like I'm trying to understand
or maybe this is training.
It can't be training because you see these sabers hitting the walls and stuff. Like at 1:26 when she's flipping.
Yeah, no, I know.
So like when you're training, you don't like destroy the crap around you. Like I don't know. So like I want to say that because we see Yaddle and Phantom Menace, episode 1, and we never see her again.
Granted, Dooku is a lot older looking than this scene, even.
Right. So
in the Clone Wars.
But this would be 10 years later. If this is around episode 1, this would be 10 years later is when we see Dooku in episode 2, which he could have then a lot more gray.
Why does Yaddle look younger in this than she did?
Nah, she always had that brown hair, but I don't know, because I think it was David in the Discord said that he left the Jedi Order soon after Qui-Gon became a Jedi Knight, when he was no longer a Padawan. So like I don't know, it's hard to say. Like it'd be cool if the story was Yaddle was killed by Dooku somehow, but it would have to be like some random skirmish that like Yaddle went on a mission and came across Dooku.
Wait, so after that wouldn't make sense though, because Yaddle's in episode 1.
Right, so I'm saying sometime after episode 1.
But he was already left.
He already left, but I'm saying maybe while he's doing his dark side stuff.
No, I think
she goes on a mission to go find whatever's going on.
She bumps into him somewhere out in the galaxy, and then they fight.
Right, because right after episode 1 is when Dooku commissions the clones to be made. Because the oldest clones, phase 1, are 10 years old times they're twice the age progression. They're 20 years old by the time we get to episode 2. So I don't know. It's hard to say, like, the timeline exactly how this is going to play out, but and then someone has to steal or delete Camino from the Jedi Temple archives. So
maybe he recruits Adel to do it, and she doesn't want to, and then he kills her.
Or maybe this is him sneaking in
the
temple.
Let's do that. I like that version.
And then kills her.
And then Adel is like, "What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. You retired." And then he's like, "Joke's on you. I'm making this planet, and you're no longer going to be Yoda's lover," and then kills him.
I don't know. I think that either way, I think it'd be cool if Dooku is the one who kills Yaddle.
Yeah, but it would shut down the whole conspiracy that Grogu
and then Yaddle is laying there dead in the Jedi Temple. Yoda comes in. He's like, "My baby mama, no." All right. Anyway,
but Grogu's isn't Grogu too young?
He's the same age as Anakin, so he'd.
Oh no, he would be there. Yeah.
He's at the temple during Order 66, and so he was there. Who knows how many years before that? But we also see the Inquisitor swiping his saber at Ahsoka again. So we see that she doesn't have a saber on her. Then we see Yaddle again fighting. Then we see some crazy ship that I don't think we've ever seen before at 128. And then we go back to those Conehead helmet guys with the blue. And we see Rodian get killed. We see Mace pull a gun from someone's hand. We see Dooku light his saber. And then we see the final scene. The Inquisitor says, "And who might you be?" And then it flashes to Ahsoka. I just love the expression she has. She's focused. She's like angry, almost sense, because if that's her boyfriend being almost killed, like
if that's her Yaddle, makes sense.
Yep. But I think when he says, "Who might you be?" like, I think this is proof that it's not the Inquisitor from the book, because the Inquisitor was specifically sent there to find the Jedi.
Yeah.
And so him.
And if anyone's thinking that it's not an Inquisitor, I mean, if you pause it at 133, it has a legit Empire emblem on his jacket.
Yep, and he has a saber, and the subtitle says Inquisitor.
Oh, that too, yes.
Yeah, so like, I think the mask
if
is
you watch it at full speed, it's hard to catch like the whole Yaddle fight scene.
Yeah, it's like
you barely even see it at all.
But I think that the helmet on this guy looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks sick.
I think it was Puzzler in the Discord mentioned it kind of looks like one of those medieval like doctors.
Yeah, the bird. I was gonna say it looks like the Dr. Bird thing.
But I wonder if those eyes, like the red eyes, if that's like an alien species eyes, or if that's just part of the mask. Like the mask has red eyes,
or they're that dark into the Sith that their eyes are turning like Anakin's turned yellow.
Right. I don't know. Part of me was thinking like this is like similar to Grievous's like face, kind of. I don't know, because he had like the big like part around his eyes exposed, and then the eyes in the middle, and this is kind of like that where it's like it's exposed, like those eye sockets is exposed with the eye in the middle, and then with the mask. But maybe it is Grievous. He survived on Utapau. That'd be funny.
Dude, that'd be crazy.
Yep. And that's the end of the trailer.
Yeah. So it says Tales of the Jedi, and they're dropping all 6, like they kind of did with Visions.
Yeah.
Because of that, do you think they're gonna do more?
I do.
I think it'll be like a Grogu Tales of the Jedi version.
We could. I hope we don't.
I want to know his origin. If we get like a legit origin story,
I think we're gonna learn that in Mando. He's gonna have his memories unlocked, because we got that hinted at in the Book of Boba Fett when he opens up.
True.
But like, I think this would be a great way if every year they just release, 3-episode arcs of various characters. Like, it'd be cool to learn some stuff from
Tales of
before
the Sith,
Tales of the
Yellowstone
Sith.
Sun.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool too.
I
Good job,
want
Yellowstone.
like a Palpatine series though, like where
True.
but I think we could have like origin stories of Jedi or other characters or just random things that like adventures. Like it'd just be cool.
Yeah, like Plo Koon, or like, yeah, I think origin stories of characters like that would be super cool. If we got like a Tales of the Sith of Maul
That's
as
the
a
one
child,
we want to know. I want to know more about Maul, like where he came from,
that'd
his
be
training.
that'd
All
be
we
so
know
cool.
is he came from Dathomir. The witches are on one part of the planet, and the Zabrix are on the other side of the planet.
Yeah.
And like, I want to know him getting recruited. That would be cool. Him in his training, and that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But that is the end of the trailer.
Yeah.
Comes
Yeah.
out in like 6 weeks.
Well,
Or something
yeah,
like
it's
that.
crazy.
7 weeks, whatever it is. So I'm excited. We'll definitely get this out for you as soon as possible when those episodes drop. It's pretty crazy if you ask me.
Mhm.
I guess I'm just super pumped about this. This trailer is just a really good trailer. Like I said at the beginning, the opening, I was like, I don't care about Mando season 3 now.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were talking about this. Like even people that I know. But I don't know, I'm really pumped for Mando season 3.
Well, in a
But
few
you're
minutes we'll
about
start
to
that breakdown.
You're
So
about to hear that in the next episode, so go check out that. Because by the time you hear this, that one's out too. So
well, there might be a little time difference, maybe like an hour or two different delay, but
yeah, sure.
But yeah, so like I said, we're not doing voicemails on this episode, but we'll do it next episode.
Sure. But if you want to leave a voicemail, how do they do that?
Well, in the description below, there is a links.co/Empire Radio landing page where it has a link to everything: Instagram, Facebook. Join the Discord. There's a link for that. There's our fan email. The link for the needlesslynerdy.com podcast network we're part of. But there should also be a link for voicemails. If you've never sent in a voicemail, we'd love to hear a voicemail from you. We do them every episode technically, but if we do multiple episodes, we just do it once a week. So it's always fun. That's like our highlights of the episodes are always fun questions and comments from fans. And so,
yep. And especially if we're doing episode breakdowns or we're doing like breakdowns of trailers and stuff, a lot of the times people do send in voicemails based off of their opinion of the trailers or their episodes. So
yeah,
it is something to, if you get it in fast enough.
Yeah,
that's true. The episode
too late
comes
now
out
if
the
you.
day of. No one.
Well, you can put in your comments about.
You can still talk about that.
Theories and ideas too, regardless of the
episode. Doesn't have to be on it, but.
Right? So, yeah. So that's it for this episode. And we'll get a quick jump on the next episode in a few minutes. But anything else, Drew?
Nope. That's it for Tales of the Jedi.
All right, cool. So you've been listening to another trailer-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And may the Force be with you.
Always.